they can just there we go. So Louise is actually going to do the PowerPoints for me and flip them through, because I had a bit of an issue with my computer trying to keep up with them. So my computer's a wee bit slow. So Louise is going to do that on my behalf this time, just to hopefully make that a little bit easier. So we'll just sort ourselves out, and I'll bring up what I need. And then Louise, if you can screen share and go to the first thing, that would be great. Thank you very much. And one sec. There we go. Okay. Okay, so thanks ever so much for being here, everyone. Great to see you. Right, okay. So this talk is called Maximising Potential Through Physical Activity. It's been commissioned by ERS Medical, which is really good of them. And they were keen that that we had something that kind of could almost suit anybody who comes along. So I hope that everyone is able to get something out of this talk today. And if you want to sort of jump in, ask me questions, then please feel free to. I can't, because of the screen I've got, I can't see everybody's faces. So if you want to just unmute yourself and jump in, you're most welcome, or type in the chat, which Louise can monitor, or we can sort of wait till the end and then have a bit of a chat if you want to as well. So can you go to the first slide, please, Louise? Thank you. So, okay, so let's just start off with who we are, just to give a bit of an idea of sort of where we're coming from and what we do, basically. So, who are Sport for Confidence? We are a community interest company. That means that we're not for profit, and we're made up of around 25 staff members. So that's occupational therapists, specialist coaches, and support staff as well. We are not in a traditional setting, so because of that, we have quite a bit of flexibility. Meaning that we can be quite unique and offer some pioneering approaches to reduce health inequalities, and maybe try out some different bits and pieces that you might not be able to in a different setting, in order to to see if they work or not, and then of course gain feedback on how things go as well. We're constantly working in partnerships and collaborating. So that's like within our organisation, between the coach and the occupational therapist, for our day-to-day delivery, but also in a wider setting. So we sort of partner with leisure, health, social care, and wellbeing sectors, both on a local level, like where we have our leisure centres, but also on a national level as well. And of course, we also really enjoy linking up with other organisations. So say, for example, where I am, I link up with the Recovery College, the Dementia Hub, Age UK, all sorts of other organisations as well. So we're not working in isolation. And I suppose the next bit is then sort of how do we kind of reduce inequalities? What do we do on a day-to-day basis? So primarily, we are based in leisure centres, although we do have a national team and we have other streams of work as well. And we see people who face barriers to accessing physical activity. We're very much a no labels model, so that means anyone can come to our sessions. That could be someone with a learning disability, physical disability, mental health issues or anxiety. It could be, say, a carer who finds it difficult to access physical activity outside of their caring role. So then they're able to come along with the person who they are caring for, and also access physical activity in the same setting. We do focus on the benefits inside the setting, of course, but really, as occupational therapists, what we're looking at is taking those functional benefits to outside the leisure centre setting as well. So that's going to be different for everyone who comes into the leisure centre. We could be working on maybe improving balance for some, working on communication for others, increased endurance, could be gaining self-esteem, maintaining a level of function. There is such a wide range of things that we could be working on. But also, most importantly, we really aim to be person-centred. So we aim to work holistically and for what is meaningful for the individuals involved. Next slide, please, Louise. Thank you. So during this hour, we're going to talk quite a lot, or think quite a lot about physical activity. So just quickly, I thought it might be useful just to clarify what that is. It's incredibly broad. It is basically any.
Hannah,
yeah.
Your camera keeps on flashing.
Oh, thanks so much. Let me just turn my camera off. So you can't see me talking, but you can still see the slides. Is that right?
Yeah, because it was going flashing green.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'll turn it back on again in a little bit, and then we will see if it's fixed itself. Thanks, Jennifer, for letting me know. Okay, so when we talk about physical activity, it's incredibly broad. So it's basically any bodily movement for any purpose. Okay, so that's work, leisure, moving ourselves from one place to another. And we don't really need to get, I think, too caught up in the nitty-gritty of the details. But I think it's just worth acknowledging that we could think about exercise as gentle, moderate, or vigorous. All levels are shown to improve health and well-being. Okay, so there is not an expectation that everyone needs to be working at a specific level. Gentle exercise, we might think about, so maybe stretching, light gardening or housework, something like that. Moderate exercise, that I'm talking about the sort of movements when you might start to feel a little bit warm, like brisk walking, maybe digging the garden or washing the windows, that kind of thing, bit of cycling perhaps. And then vigorous activity is you probably really are quite warm, probably quite a little bit sweaty as well, and out of breath. So we're thinking about maybe running, playing a sport, those sorts of things. But really the important thing is to remember the take-home message, I suppose, is any physical activity is a powerful tool to develop skills that are transferable to everyday life. Okay, next slide, please, Louise. Thank you. Okay, so there are a few facts and figures, which I know facts and figures can be a little bit dry sometimes. However, I think that's really important to just consider them, because this is sort of what, where I suppose where we are seeing the inequalities and where a lot of our work is based on. Sorry, there's no pictures on this page. I do like a page with pictures, but we'll just focus for a few minutes on these statistics. So I think most of these statistics have been taken from a large piece of research that was done by, I think it was the Activity Alliance. You can find, and the references at the end of this slideshow, which I can email around to, we've got your email address if you think it would be useful. There is a link to where this information's come from if you want to read a bit more, because I've really only pulled out a few. And of course, you can imagine from this large piece of research, there's a lot of information in there. But I just thought these few just paint us a little bit of a picture. And the research, I think, was published November 2021, if I remember correctly. So, okay, so let's just try and get our head around this. So half of disabled adults are physically inactive. That's compared to 15% of non-disabled adults. I think that statistic alone, if that was the only statistic on the page there, I think that by itself just speaks volumes there. If we take it a little bit further, 78% of disabled adults would like to be more active. And that's compared with 51% of non-disabled adults. Half as many disabled adults regularly take part in sport compared to non-disabled adults. Half as many, that's a huge difference there. 78% of disabled people say their impairment or condition stops them being active. And then the research shows it's often related to low awareness or lack of suitable activities and fears about safety and risk. So when we're saying low awareness there, we don't necessarily mean it's the person with the disability with low awareness. Research showed that there was a low awareness of what is suitable and safe activity from a lot of people in the health professional, in health professions. So let's say if somebody with a long-term condition or disability went to their GP, the GP often would not know what was the appropriate advice to give. So of course, if you are not unable to access appropriate advice from someone like the GP, and then you could quite easily leave feeling, oh, I'm not sure if doing physical activity actually is safe for me, which is a huge barrier in itself just there. And then we've got something just down there about loneliness, because we know that loneliness has a huge impact on health. So, and we know that there are mental and physical health risks and long-term conditions associated with loneliness. So there's a huge correlation here. 43% of people who report bad or very bad health also report being often or always lonely. There's quite a link there. And then if we just take this just sort of one step further, I think maybe previously there was sort of an idea that perhaps that maybe being physically active was good for us. And if we weren't physically active, then, oh, that's a bit of a shame. But actually what the studies are showing is it's much more serious than that, really. They show that being inactive is actively damaging our health, and that it directly contributes to 1 in 6 deaths in the UK, which is the same number as smoking. Which, when you put it like that, you can then see that the huge barriers that some disabled adults are facing, the huge barriers that they face actually is really having a significant impact on their health. Let's just flip to the next slide, please, Louise, because this will give us a bit more of a picture. So we often think, thank you, we often think of physical activity as being beneficial, for our cardiovascular system and maybe weight maintenance, things like that. But actually there are so many more things that it is beneficial for. And this little sort of mind map here gives us a bit of a flavour of the hugely wide-ranging impact of physical activity on someone. So when we're talking about, just from that previous slide, those statistics of the huge amount of people who have long-term conditions or disabilities that are currently unable to access physical activity, they're not only missing out on those sort of cardiovascular, weight management considerations that we often think of, they're actually potentially missing out on all of this as well, which then is, when you then think about that, and then that is, just a huge inequality there. So you can probably just pick out a few as you're looking through. We've got kind of 5 main categories here. I probably pick out maybe a few sort of jump to your mind there. I've got things like feelings of isolation and loneliness, jumps up pain levels, falls, stress management as well. I think that's a really big one. If you're feeling a little bit stressed or you've got something on your mind, having a 10-minute brisk walk can really help that. And if you're unable to access physical activity, then I suppose that's like a coping system that isn't at your fingertips then to use. And then also the ability for physical activity to help guard against or manage long-term conditions such as the stroke, cancer, diabetes, dementia, and helps to keep us independent for longer as well. Okay, so now that we know this, now that we have kind of seen these figures and we know what a large percentage of the population are actually missing out on, I suppose the next question is what do we do about it? So next slide, please, Louise. That's that, thank you. So, okay, so the Chief Medical Officer has put together some guidelines. Again, you can find these on the internet if you want to look at the detail or if you want to share them. And these two posters here, there is one physical activity for adults and older adults, and then the other one is physical activity for disabled adults. However, the take-home message is actually the same for both, on both of these posters. So the take-home message here is all adults, 30 minutes activity per day, build strength twice a week and build balance twice a week. And then, of course, I suppose on the flip side there is reducing inactivity, breaking up your sedentary time, and just saying that any activity is better than none. So, even if you can't manage, say, the 30 minutes of activity a day, or you can't strength balance twice a week, anything that anyone can do is going to be better than nothing. Next slide, please, Louise. So we're just going to break these down a little bit. So we're just going to think about exercise, strengthening, and balance, just individually, and then we'll kind of bring them all back together because they don't work separately at all. So just looking at exercise here, right? So 30 minutes a day is the guidelines. Again, if someone can do more than that, that obviously is ideal. 30 minutes a day, I suppose, is the recommended minimum. Just worth saying, though, it doesn't have to be done all at once. That could be broken down into 15-minute chunks, or even sort of 3 10-minute chunks broken up throughout the day. I would suggest that if it's less than 10 minutes, then maybe it is difficult to get one's heart rate up within that time. But again, anything's better than nothing. things. So certainly wouldn't want to discourage anyone from doing anything, less than 10 minutes if that's what's manageable. So this also, remember, this exercise, we are thinking about something, an activity that results in you feeling a bit warmer, and maybe that you're having to breathe a bit deeper as well. But it's also really important that people work at their own pace and, of course, do something that they enjoy, otherwise it's not sustainable. So just thinking of those functional benefits that we looked at in that mind map there, you could then kind of just take that one step further. And I'm thinking, let's say, for example, like getting out to access the community. A little bit of exercise every day is really going to assist in those functional benefits of even just getting in and out of the car or on and off the bus, however someone travels, say to the shopping centre, walking around the shopping centre, climbing stairs to access, I don't know, something on a different level, or maybe at an art gallery, let's say, if someone's interested in that sort of thing. Just, I suppose, bringing to life what is meaningful for somebody as well, and maintaining those activities that are important to them. So then if we just think about those different examples split into the categories we talked about earlier. So gentle exercise, we've got, as we talked about, housework, gardening, things like that, just taking a stroll. Yeah, swimming, absolutely, Jennifer. Swimming could be in there. That could also, there's some things, quite a few activities that could be in more than one section. So swimming could be in more than one section. If you look in the moderate and vigorous, I've got dance in both, because you could have a bit of a dance around the kitchen, and that we could call moderate exercise, or you could go to a dance class and you really sort of sweat it out. So it's just an example that these activities can be done to someone's level, to whatever is comfortable for them. So and therefore the majority of activities can be graded to suit as well. Next slide, please, Louise. We'll go on to strengthening. Okay, so strengthening here twice a week we've got for strengthening. Now, of course, there is going to be some overlap, but if we just sort of think of, think about that, I suppose, as the guide. So strengthening, it should really be done if someone's able to, has the muscle strength to do so, should be done with the addition of a weight in someone's hand. So if an individual only has muscle strength about to lift their own limb, then that's fine. There's no need to put additional weight on. However, by adding weight, that is, I suppose, that is the desired or the aim, I suppose, for strengthening. But this is a weight that's suitable for you. And it is also the amount of repetitions that is suitable for the individual as well. So we could have, let's say, somebody who is unable to get out of the house. Say, I'm thinking potentially maybe someone who is elderly and frail, and maybe lifting a bottle of water might be, or a tin can might be the weight that's suitable for them. And maybe let's say maybe 8 repetitions might be enough for them. And then after that, they feel some muscle fatigue, and that is at their limit. That is absolutely fine. Then let's say compared to let's say maybe someone who plays wheelchair basketball, you can imagine that the weight they could lift and the repetitions they could do is going to be a lot higher, but that is correct for them. So there is no expectation that you have to be at the gym lifting a certain weight, doing 30 reps or whatever. So very much tailoring to the individual. And strengthening exercises could be done just as easily in a gym, indoor or outdoor gym, let's say, or at home using, like I mentioned, tin cans, bottles of water, your own body weight, things like that. Probably worth thinking about if you're thinking about building a strength, encouraging people to do a bit of strengthening, thinking about something for upper limb, lower limb, core muscles, and also the small muscles in your hand as well, fine motor muscles as well. There's a few examples there. Can we go on to balance? The next section, please, Louise. Thank you. Okay, so again, balance is twice a week. There will be some overlaps. So some of the functional benefits we're thinking about here is like reducing falls, maybe mobilizing different surfaces over different surfaces, having to walk on, let's say, maybe cobblestones or gravelly sort of ground versus, grassy ground, things like that. Reaching up to a high shelf or bending down to a low cupboard. So that's anything that's taking you out of your midline really. Standing in a queue, you're standing in the queue at the post office, there might not be anything to hold on to, let's say. So therefore, maintaining function and independence as well. So a few examples there: stretching, yoga, tai chi, those sorts of things. So even little things like throwing and catching a ball. So whether that's done by yourself in your own home, or whether that's done with a friend or grandchild, or whatever, throwing and catching a ball is constantly taking you out of your midline, and your body is having to make small adjustments to keep your balance there. And I suppose if you're throwing a ball up and then catching it yourself, it is then kind of coming almost out of your eyesight line, so you're having to tilt your head up and back again as well. And so making those small adjustments to your body. Likewise, table tennis. I use table tennis quite a lot in the leisure centre because there's lots of small movements coming out of your midline for table tennis. And then, of course, there could be the more obvious, standing on one leg, moving your weight from side to side as well. So there's a few little examples there. So if we just go to the next slide, please, Louise, we'll just bring those things together. So bringing together the exercise element, the strengthening and the balance. I've got the picture of the gymnast there because without all those, I think that's just a really good example. Thing about gymnastics is those three elements. There is no way that a gymnast could do what they do without being strong in all three elements and bringing them together. But that is the same for us. So that is for these examples here, like this gentleman walking up a flight of stairs or someone picking something up off the floor. Everything works together to enable us to maintain our independence as well. And just this link also here with gymnastics, we're going to do a little bit of activity from the Love to Move program, which is also known as, or could be described as, gymnastics for the brain as well. We'll do that with Jack in a few minutes. But just got a few links there if you are wanting a little bit more information. So Love to Move, they have videos on the website, the British Gymnastics Foundation website, and I'll send these slides through to you, so there's a link there if you'd like to learn a little bit more about that. There also, the NHS have a lot of exercises and videos on their website as well that people can follow in the privacy of their own home. Sport for Confidence YouTube channel, you will find some videos on our YouTube channel that you're welcome to share. The videos were made during lockdown, and this is just a small selection of some of the videos that we did during lockdown to suit I suppose, people with different abilities. They're quite adaptable. And then, just in case there was anyone coming from from elsewhere wanting to go back and find places in their local areas, just got some different places that people from around the country could look for to see what is available in your local area there as well. So we're going to move on to Love to Move in a minute. Can you just share the last slide, please, Louise? I'm just going to just explain a little bit about Love to Move before Jack does a little demo there for us. So, so as I mentioned, Love to Move, you can access it through the British Gymnastics Foundation. It was it's a program devised by a professor in Japan for people who are experiencing dementia or dementia-style symptoms. And I believe in Japan, it is now the Love to Move program is now in every care home, I think, in Japan, because the evidence base is so strong. But the program has been, I think, taken by British Gymnastics Foundation and Age UK, who did a piece of research around it, and has been adapted for our audiences in the UK as well. So it includes bilateral movement and coordination, which of course results in a lot of cognitive stimulation. It includes social interaction, information processing, and the studies have shown that it increases independence. So, for example, people that had taken part in the Love to Move program were then more able to, say, feed themselves, cut up their food and feed themselves, reduction in falls, continue to dress themselves as well, or maybe do their buttons up, but things like that, while they're dressing themselves, and improving self-confidence as well. So we are only going to do a little, sort of like a little section, a little taster of Love to Move. So Love to Move is actually, I think it would, should you ordinarily be like an hour long kind of program. And there is during that time, there's a focus on sort of strength, balance, fine motor, social communication elements. So we're just going to take a little flavour from a few of those sections. I want to try my video again. Let's see. Let me know if I'm flickering. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Jack. Oh, just to say, when I send this through, there is a final slide that is that has references on it as well. Okay, if you want to click on anything like that. Actually, are there any questions before we hand over to Jack? Or anything you want to say before we hand over? No, all good? Cool. Okay, I'm going to hand over to Jack. We'll spotlight Jack, and he is going to just take us through a little bit of Love to Move.
Okay, ready to go? Morning, everybody. Just move my screen back slightly. Okay, guys, so as Hannah said, we're just going to do a little bit of a snippet from Love to Move today. Hopefully some of it is, relatable to what we've just been talking about there. So just to start the session, just make sure you've got a bit of space around you. Most of it's going to be seated, and there will be some standing up, but it's real low impact exercise altogether, okay? For yourself, Jen, if you are taking part today, I've got a few adaptations that I can do for you, Jennifer, okay? So I'll give some different versions of the exercise. So we're going to start off with a posture check. So I'd like everybody sitting up nice and tall for me. Okay, with your feet flat on the floor. And then from there, we're just going to start by rolling our shoulders backwards, like so. So we're going to be doing upper body exercise, lower body exercise. Get the heart rate up a little bit for you. Okay, and then from there, I want you to reach down in front and then reach up nice and high and stretch up tall for me. And we're just going to do 2 to 3 of those. So nice and slowly reaching down, then coming up to the floor and reaching up nice and high. And one more. Down you go. And up, big stretch. Okay, and from there, I would like some marching on the spot. So opposite arm to leg, if possible. Just get you a little bit warmer, get the heart rate up. So normally it would be done to music. I'm not putting music on today because I think it's and talk about some of the movements a little bit more. Plus, I don't think my neighbours appreciate Elvis being blasted at 10 in the morning. And relax that there. And we're going to bring our arms up and we're going to do some body twisting. So you're sitting up nice and tall and you're driving your elbows round. That's it. A couple more. Okay, and then from there, we're just going to do some knee pumping like so. Just driving those knees up and twisting the body side to side to engage the core. Okay, and then from there, we're just going to do some leg extensions where we kick the leg out in front. Try not to lock the knee. If we lock the knee, the joint's going to take the weight instead of the actual muscle that we're trying to engage. So make sure you've got nice soft knees and elbows throughout the exercises. And then from there, can you just rock heel to toe? I don't know if you can see my feet, but I'm just going up onto my tiptoes and then also driving my toes up at the front, which is really important to engage the muscles we use for walking, often neglected down our shins here.
Hannah,
And the last couple from there, you're just going to rotate your ankle for me. Yeah.
Sorry, Jennifer, tell me that again.
Hannah,
Yeah.
I want to say how full confidence is. I went yesterday to the leisure centre and did marbles. It's really come on down to the leisure centres. They're really nice. The OAs, the therapists, the coaches, and
Thanks,
all
Jen.
like community. You play games, but it's like you chat as well at the same time.
Cheers, Jen.
Thanks, Jennifer. Yeah, if anyone does want to
And
pop on down, drop us a line.
Okay, and from there, just to finish the warm-up, I'd like you to rub your hands together. And then we're going to work from the wrists. We're just going to squeeze. We're going to apply some pressure all the way up the arms. Maybe work around the joints a little bit more. So just give it a bit of a rub and work all the way up the arm to behind. And then you can do the same on the other side. Just open those muscle fibers, ready for a bit of exercise. And give it a shake off. And then we're going to do the same, but on our lower limbs, okay? So just start by squeezing the quads and just working your way down the legs. Just get in tune with our body. Once again, you can work around the joint. And same on the other side. Okay, from there, I would like you to just give your fingers a bit of a wiggle. Let's do some motor skills. And from there, can you touch fingers to thumb? And you're going to work up and down the fingers. Finger to thumb, finger to thumb. So that a couple of times. And then from there, just join your fingers in front of the body like this. You're just going to flex your fingers to start with. You know, when we think about transferable skills, this could be the difference between someone doing their own buttons up or have their buttons done up for them. And now we're going to take a deep breath, breathe in. And as we exhale, we're going to join our fingers back into the middle. And one more of those, nice deep breath. And then joining our fingers in the middle. And for the last one, I would like you to try that, but do it with your eyes closed. You're going to close your eyes, take a deep breath. Open the hands and then try to join the fingers, but with the eyes closed. And we're going to do one last one. Oh, sorry, I'm rushing a bit quick there. See, I think we're still doing it. And one more. Deep breath. And as we bring our hands together with our eyes closed, we join our fingers. Beautiful, and relax. From there, we've got our hands like this, and we're going to rotate our thumbs around like this. Rotating the thumbs. Maybe do a couple of spins in each direction. And let's move down the fingers. Now we're going to the index finger. And now we're going to the middle finger. No sticking them up. And from there, this is where I fall apart, to be honest. This is now, can you do the ring finger? I have to open my hands to do it. I can't do it. It's because you're ring and middle share a tendon, but some people are able to do it with their hands closed. Oh, to improve on that one. And then finally, the little finger, just rotating the little finger. And relax that there. Okay, we're going to do some bilateral movements. So the first one that you would know is a classic, which is rubbing the belly and tapping your head. Okay, so we've warmed the body up with the warm up. Now let's just warm the brain up. Let's play some brain games. Yeah, tap in the head, rubbing your belly. And swap over. Not bad, not bad. Okay, and from there, one's a little bit trickier. Tapping one thigh whilst tapping the other. Whilst rubbing the other, sorry. Now when I say swap, you've got to swap. So swap. It's normally the swap that gets people. And swap. And swap. Okay, and from there, the next one is holding your nose. And on the outside, holding your ear. And then change. Yeah, for you strugglers. And change. And change. That normally gets a lot of people, that one. And change. Don't worry, I used to be absolutely shocking at all these. And change. And relax. Okay, from there, I would like us to draw 2 circles in the air. Yeah. And then from there, you're drawing 2 triangles. So out, up, and down. Up and down. From there, just drawing 2 lines up in the air. And then can one hand draw a line whilst the other one draws a circle? Can you do that? One hand's drawing a line, one hand's drawing a circle. Tell you what, not bad there on the screen. I can see you lot. And relax that there. Okay, from there, can you write your name in the air? You're just writing your name in the air. And then can you write your name backwards in the air? Okay, so moving on, we're going to go into the exercises, okay? So we've got around 6 exercises. We're going to do them for around, I don't know, 30 seconds each, okay? But let's think about the quality of movement when we're doing these exercises, okay? So it's quality over quantity, so don't rush the movement. I'll give a demo and then we'll all do them together for around 30 seconds. And let me get my stopwatch up so I'm all ready to roll. And then we'll make a start. So the first exercise we're going to do is a bicep curl into a shoulder press, okay? So we're going to do that exercise for 30 seconds. The elbows tucked into the body, sitting up tall with good posture. Then bringing the arms into this position, squeezing the bicep muscle, and then reaching above the head, okay? And then nice and slow and controlled on the way down as well. So we're going to go for 25 seconds or so. 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So bicep curl into shoulder press. And let's go. As Hannah mentioned, sometimes you can add weight to this. Yes. Okay, we're about halfway there. It's going to be upper body, lower body, and up. Good. Building strength to reach for that cupboard up high as we get a bit older. And 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, just give your arms a shake off. The next exercise is going to be a seat to stand, okay? So we're going to stand up. So I'll give a seated version, okay? Just for seated version to start with, you're going to come up with one leg and hold, and then release. Come up with one leg, hold, and then release, okay? So that's the seated version, Jen, if you want to follow that along. The standing version will be, you come to the forward quarter of your chair, so just budge your bum forward slightly, okay? Feet at a 90-degree angle here, and then we're just going to stand up. Simple as that, to start with. So standing up, and then you put your feet back, so the back of your legs touch the back of the chair. And now you're just going to slowly sit down, pushing the hips back, lower back stays strong, and you sit down nice and slow until your bum touches the chair, okay? So it's a little bit harder than you may think. So up we go again, standing up. And put your hands out in front across the chest, however you feel comfortable. And then sitting down slowly until your bum reaches the chair. Oh, leg day today. Okay, let's go again. Up we go. 2 more, okay? So sitting down slowly. And relax. And 1 more of those. Up you go. And sitting down slow as you can, and relax. Well done, everybody. Okay, if you need a quick drink or anything like that, grab a drink. I'll give you 10 seconds. Just whilst you're doing that, I will demonstrate the next move, which is going to be a cross-body crunch, okay? So from here, you're going to bring your elbow to the opposite knee, okay? Elbow to the opposite knee. That could be hand if you wanted to, okay? As long as we're getting that crunching movement, engaging our core muscles. And we're going to go for 30 seconds, and we're going in 3, 2, 1, and go. Let's go. So don't rush it. Think about each movement. Slow it down slightly. And twisting and crunching. And then we've got 2 more exercises before we move on to something else. Hopefully you're feeling nice and warm now. We're moving for a while now. And you're almost there. Come on, keep going, work with me. And relax. Okay, the next exercise is going to be a rainbow reach. So quite simple. You can use the chair as an anchor or a guide. And then you're going to bring your arm up. And then you're going to slowly bend over to one side, okay? Then we come back down to neutral. The other arm comes up. And then we're bending over, okay? Try not to swing the body side to side. You control the movement so we get more out of the movement. And we're going 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and go. So big reach. Hold onto the chair if you need to. And up and over. And same on the other side. Reaching up. And over. And that's it. We're already halfway through. See, in reality, these would go on a tad longer. in a full session. And one more on each side. So up and over. Oh, and up and over. And relax that there. Okay, last exercise before we move on. So we're going to do a core lift where we bring our legs up, we place them to one side, bring them up, place them to the middle, up and to the other side, okay? That's option one. If you're feeling really hardcore today, you can just go up to one side and then come all the way across the other side, or you could just do one leg at a time, okay? Different variations. So pick one of those three, and we're going to go for 30 seconds, okay? So 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Come on in. Up and out. Then up and out to the other side. I'm going to mix it up between the three. Sorry if you've got a chair with wheels, as some of you may have. Okay, almost there. 3, 2, 1, and relax that there. Okay, the next exercise transitions us to the next area nicely. So we're going to do boxing striking, okay? So we're going to do some miming of some sports, which in a session is really good for triggering really positive memories surrounding sport, maybe sports that they did in school or etc. So we're going to start with boxing, and I'm going to throw a few sports out, and I want you to mime that sport, okay? So 3, 2, 1, let's use striking to the front. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Maybe throw some uppercuts in there. So you're twisting the body, some hooks from the side. Get those strikes moving in different directions. Come on. Okay, and then from there, I want us to transition into tennis. So serving and smash. Well, you can do however you want to do, really. Forehand, backhand, Andy Murray, whoever you want to be. And serving up and smash. Okay, and then from there, let's see some basketball. So we're just bouncing to the side. Bouncing, bouncing. You're going to catch and then shoot. Just do a few of those. And swish. And one more. Kobe, yes, and relax. Okay, from there, should we do some bowls, okay? So we're going to bowl down. Bowling down with the right arm. Bowling down with the left arm. Just going to go from side to side. Okay, and relax that there, everybody. Okay, so from here, we're going to just do a little bit of interaction. Okay, so we're going to pick a topic. Well, I'll pick us a topic, to be totally honest. And we're going to go through the alphabet, and I want you to shout out something to begin with that letter. Okay, so
Jack, that was really good, Jack.
thank you,
Your
Jem.
afternoon's really good.
Cheers, Jem.
I love you, Jack.
I miss you, Jem. You need to come back in. Right, let's help me
Yeah,
out. So
you
come
need
off
to come
mute. Come
back.
off mute. I don't want to have to go through all this alphabet on my own, so please do come off mute and let's do it.
The lesson centre on a Wednesday.
No, I'm not there on a Wednesday. I'm Canvey, Jem. Right, you're going to help me out, Jem. So we're gonna do sports and games, okay? So just shout them out. You can come out off mute, or you can write them in a chat, whatever you want to do. We're not going to do the whole alphabet. So sports and games, starting with the letter A.
Air hockey.
Air hockey, yeah, nice. Any more?
Someone said archery.
And can we go on to B?
Boxing.
Badminton.
Bocce.
Beautiful loads there. And C?
Cricket.
Curling.
Curling, cricket, yeah. D?
Dodgeball.
Dodgeball, darts. E?
Equestrian.
Egg and spoon,
I had
Jack.
it wrong. You said
Yes, that's good.
Egg and spoon race, I'll take D. F?
Football. Fishing.
Yeah. G?
Golf. Easy one.
Oh, what else? A bit more? Goal ball, Paralympic sport, I think. H, couple more.
Handball.
Handball, yeah.
Hockey.
Hockey.
Horse riding.
Yes, Jen, horse riding.
Ice skating.
Ice skating, yeah. Any more? Let's do 2 more. So J.
Javelin.
Javelin. Jousting once upon a time.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, come on. And last one, K.
Kickboxing.
Yeah. Kickboxing, karate.
Karate.
Jen. So I think we've hit a good few there. So obviously we pick a different subject each week. You know, it can be food and drink, which normally gets quite funny. So let's wrap up the session. We're just going to do a bit of a static stretch at the end, okay? So we've had the body moving. Let's just finish with a stretch, okay? So just another 5 minutes, everybody, okay?
Hannah, can you send this to me, please, Hannah?
Send you some what, Jen? Sorry?
Can you send this to, please, Hannah?
Send this to you, yeah. No worries.
Okay, so guys,
If you've got
let's
my-
finish with a
have you
stretch
got
once
my-
more. We're sitting up nice and tall for me. Do a bit of upper body, lower body. I just want us to join our hands. You're going to push forward, and then you're going to tuck your head and roll the shoulders forward. So from the side, I look like that. Just hold that there for me. And then slowly release. Okay, from there, you're going to take your hands behind your back, roll the shoulder blades backwards, and then pull the arms down. Or you could just use the back of the chair and pull against the back of the chair. Kind of puffing your chest up at the front, really stretch those shoulders and chest muscles out. And relax. From there, we're going to touch our own shoulder like so, and we're going to pull that elbow right up, stretching that tricep and your lat, and hold. And slowly release. Same on the other side, touch your shoulder, drive it up and hold. From there, let's do some lower body stretches as well. So you're just going to bring your foot out to the front, so your heel's on the floor. You've got a bend in the leg, and you're just reaching down to touch your toe or your ankle, whatever you can reach. And you should be able to feel that in your hamstrings. And then up we come. And slowly down the other side, same again. And just hold that there for me. And up we come. And from there, we're just going to bring one leg up. And just bring it in close to the body. Just hold it as much as you can. And relax. And same on the other side. Okay, and let's finish today's session with a couple of cleansing breaths. So we want nice deep breaths, breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. So you can maybe use your hands to help visualize. So when you're ready in your own time, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale and a nice long exhale. And 2 more of those, breathing in. And out. And one last one, breathing in. And out. And gang, that is the end of our Love to Move taster. Give yourselves a clap. Well done, everybody. Thanks for everybody joining in. Thanks so much. I'm going to come in a bit closer now, Hannah.
Thanks so much, Jack. That was great. Anyone got any questions or anything they'd like to say?
Yeah, feel free to nick any of that, guys.
Hannah, have you got my email address?
I do, Jen. Yeah. Yeah, all
Yes.
good. But actually, I don't know.
Honey,
Mhm. What's that, Jen?
you were saying you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I have Shannon, Leanne, and Vanessa. I'm not sure I've got your email addresses. If you want to put them in the chat, like you can do it just to me, then I can send you the links, the PowerPoint. But I think I've got everyone else's address. So
Have you
if
got
you want to put it in the chat, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I'll put that stuff through to you, and I will send it through to you either on this evening or tomorrow. Thanks, Leanne. That's great. I'm going to take a photo. Perfect. Then I won't. So I'm just taking a photo of the addresses, not you guys. And I won't lose that. That's great. Thank you. Any comments anyone wanted to make, or any discussion? Any questions? Any discussion?
I know you can put this on for confidence newsletter, maybe. Say about that other people can join it.
This is the last one, Jennifer, of this series, but we might put it on the on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I thought it was really good that the kind of imagining doing other sports and using the movements that you would do in those sports for exercise. I thought it was really good. I'm definitely going to nick that.
Yeah, nick it, guys. If you can put it into your everyday practice, some of those stuff can really, really easy to be done in any kind of settings, especially the motor skills, etc. So,
Yeah, sorry, Jack. Yeah, I think that nicking the I think that nicking the idea was a really good idea, because you get the full range, from the basketball down to the bowling. You get a full range, and then there is a lot of having to, I suppose, kind of reach back into your memory about different sports, a lot of communication. And then I think it's also quite a nice group thing. So then once someone says, I don't know, maybe something, let's say cricket, then I was like, I used to love cricket. It kind of also then creates a talking point for later on in the session as well. So I think it has a really good social element to it too. Yeah, and you can kind of use that to your advantage. The other thing, when we were doing the alphabet, you could also do that with the movements. So someone throws out whatever, ice hockey, and then let's act out ice hockey. You could kind of bring it in as well there if you wanted the structure of the alphabet as well. I'm just giving that another layer. Sorry, my video is going again. Yeah. Anything else anyone wanted to throw out there? Good. Okay, so I think I've got, just checking, Vanessa and Leanne, I've got yours. Shannon, if you want to chuck your email address on there on the chat, you're most welcome to. Sorry, my video, honestly, it's so annoying. Maybe I'll log on with a different computer next time and then work out if it's this computer. Oh, thanks, Shannon, that's fair. They're also in the, oh my goodness. Also in the email that I sent, there will be a little link to a questionnaire. It's only 3 questions, just about, just asking for your feedback. And the first question is, what course have you gone on? So it really will take you about 2 minutes to complete probably. So it's only a couple of questions. I'll just pop that through. It's completely anonymous. If you don't mind putting that in, I'd be really grateful. Oh yes, hang on, let me just take a photo. That's no problem. No problem, Natalie, can do that.
Hannah, can I have the slides, please? They're so good.
Yeah, no worries, Jen. Yeah, I'll send the slides through and the link to the questionnaire as well. And then, of course, if you've got any questions that come, that you think about afterwards, please do get in touch. Keep in touch with Moving OTs on Twitter as well. And Moving OTs are doing regular, I think it's monthly sessions, thanks Louise. Monthly sessions as well, like over Zoom. So if you want, are the monthly stuff over Zoom being recorded, Louise? Are they anywhere if you're not able to make it at the time?
Yeah, we've just started uploading the CPD sessions they're doing. I just put one on there yesterday, actually, on our YouTube channel. So Hannah, I can send you the link if you want to email that through to everybody.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, then because of course it's at a time it's not convenient, you can then catch up. And if you want to find our YouTube channel separately, just go to Sport for Confidence and there's a little icon at the top of the homepage. You can click on it from there. But yeah, any questions, please do, you know, come back to us. If you're ever in the area down in London and Essex and you want to come and pop into a leisure centre, please drop us a line. We'd love to see you. Be most welcome. Yeah, but it's been great. Thank you so much for joining and participating as well. And hopefully we'll keep in touch. See you all soon.